Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Juna!
Lady Juna!
Faraway sky, blue and clear, echo my wish, so that all may hear. One and all born to this land, as here we stand. Let us greet the rising dawn, hand in hand. Faraway sky.
Even I'm feeling the heat. Well, I suppose it's time to fan the flames. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to the inauguration of the Tournament for the Throne! For the first time, the crown is anyone's to claim, as long as the aspirants can complete 3 grueling challenges.
Wow, a Sanctus Crier! He's perfect for this!
Let's discuss the venues. We kick off in the west, in the Pearl of the Coast, the Principality of Oceania's harbour city capital, Port Brilehaven. There, they face their first challenge, the Exhibition of the Brave. Each contender must bring back the head of a monster, a mark of their prowess and courage. Next, our would-be monarchs head east. Upon the misty peaks, we arrive in the Principality of Montario's beautiful city of faith, Altaberry Heights. And finally, our heroes make their well-deserved return home to Grand Trad. But first, let's do introductions. It's time to meet those risking their lives for the crown. Closest to the throne, I know him, you know him. It's Sanctism's one and only 78 Sanctifex, His Eminence, Forden! Victory to Sanctifex Forden!
I claim no great ambition, nor any heated calls to action. All I wish is to restore order for our people and to safeguard our land from the threats beyond. This chaos we face is but one of God's many trials. Let us restore our kingdom's glory together!
Moving right along, we come next to His Eminence's champion, the very spear in his hand, the warrior monk captain of the Crown Theocracy, Master Giddo!
I come before you only in loyal service of His Eminence. I relinquish the throne to him gladly. But those who would seize the crown by force, I will teach you to fear God and to fear me!
So much for this being a fair competition. How many horses do the Sanctus have in this race? Still, it's not over by far. The Luis supporters won't take this lying down.
What cowardice, Crier! Where's Count Louise?
All right, settle down. At this time, I can report that Count Luis has not applied to enter the tournament.
What? He's not even entering?
Then what becomes of us? Our entire purpose in this race was to get closer to him.
Don't worry. He's definitely paying attention. He's only in second as it is, so we can't afford to ignore this whole production. Sit tight. I'm sure he'll make a move soon.
All right. For those Count Luis supporters, you might want to meet our next entrant. A rising socialite, a man of ambition, godless and fearless, the brash young warrior serving Count Luis, Gladel, the Black Hound!
Him? So he was one of Luis's men.
The fallen king embraced sanctism and all its holy tenets, and for what? He was nothing before Lord Luis. Look to the sky all you wish. No god can save you! What our country needs is power!
Well, it's not quite all the contenders, but let's get on with the introductions. The great liberal merchant, it's Roger Ward. By war, by conquest, by right, it's Rudolph Kraus. In it more for the gauntlet runners than the throne, it's Lena Caden. Sure to be popular by pledging free drinks for life, it's Loveless O'Shea. Uplifting the beautiful and deposing the hideous, it's Milo Maurizio.
Wow. If we lose this, I think the country has some even bigger problems.
Now, I do believe we have one final candidate. Do we have an Elden boy present? Come on, let's see a face.
What? An elder? Disgraceful. Is this the only way you could think to distinguish yourself?
By the way, the ride you applied with still hasn't arrived. And if it doesn't show up by the time the noon bell rings, you're disqualified. All right?
Hey! What's going on?
That nitwit! What is he doing?
So, contestants, are you ready?
What? Last, I say! Wait! Found your behave!
A land runner?
It's quick!
Wait, it's headed right for the...
It'll crash! Whoa!
What the heck is that?
Wonderful. So much for a first impression.
What ho? Isn't she a marvel, chums?
You dolt! You nearly brought down the cathedral! Have a care, you fool. It was bad enough when Luis did it the first time. That feckless, shameless old fool.
Not bad, kid. Guess you've got some interesting tricks up your sleeve after all. Right! I'd call that a full roster. Ladies and gentlemen, race across the land. Go! Prove yourself worthy and earn your crown. For the people, for the throne. Let the games begin!
We must take to the road.
Come on, come on! So fast! Gotta hold on to something or I'll get blown up!
It's incredible!
Just a sec.
Can you hear me?
Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I smell.
Hold on.
Let's see.
Let us hurry. Let us.
Oh,
Hold on.
let's see here. Whoa. That's where you want to go.
This place here.
Wow.
Oh.
Spectacular.
This is amazing! I don't know a thing about gauntlet runners, but even I can tell this is a hell of a craft. I can hardly believe she's ours to drive.
You're telling me, lad? Feels like ages since I've been out on the open road. This girl's been waiting long enough for her time to shine.
So this is what you use to talk with the driver? Convenient, that. Look, old fellow, are you really on our side? You realize we don't have funds to pay you.
Money? Fuck! I'm not in this for the money, boy. What I want is a little gusto. What do you think, lad? Isn't this a rush?
It is at that. Like riding the wind.
That's the ticket. It's been so long since I've had a good chinwag.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
You've a good head on your shoulders, boy. Yes, I can tell you're a sharp one. We're two ladies. The world is our shellfish.
You certainly are a different person behind the wheel.
Hey, Hulkenberg! Can we get an explanation yet?
That man is Neurus. An Ishkia, if 'twas not obvious from the wings. And despite everything, he was heir to a noble house and personal machinist for the royal family.
What?
He's a master engineer, of course, positively peerless. But as you can see, the runners get him a bit excitable. Neurus? Are you there? I'm coming in. Even amidst all this commotion in town, I find you buried in your work.
It's too much to do.
As always. To business, then. I must ask a favor. Would you be able to ready a carriage for me?
No new commissions. No time for them. Ask another right.
It is not a new one I require. Before His Highness disappeared, did you not accept a contract to build him a custom carriage? Without a formal owner, I reasoned that it must now lie unused. I was hoping I might borrow it a short while.
But pish and tosh, woman. She is for royal use and naught else.
'Tis an unreasonable request, I know. But I'd not be asking without a grave need. Might I at least see it?
I mean, well,
'Twas specially made for His Highness, yes? Not a work you'd have sold off. Where lies it now?
I've deadlines to meet, dash it. Off with you now. Leave me be.
You've been acting stranger than usual. What ails you?
Whoa!
Good God. Is this a gauntlet runner? The very craft commissioned for His Highness the Prince? Even knowing His Highness was gone, still you toiled away. Oh, Neurus, you are an inspiration. Such nobility of purpose.
Yes. Right.
However, for a craft meant for the royal family, it is rather excessive, isn't it? Did you really build this vehicle exactly to their orders? You cannot mean...
Well, at first, certainly. I followed the blueprints exactly. But then His Highness died, and... I couldn't just let the old girl waste away. A masterpiece like her? Collecting dust in storage? No! Unacceptable! Unthinkable! I'm working toward a dream. And this poor old girl is going to help me see it through. And then, finally...
You imbecile! A lowly, brazen court engineer butchering His Highness's inheritance for a hobby! For this mania! You embezzled the royal treasury and disrespected his legacy! Treason!
Mercy, please! Look, take my head if you must, milady. But leave the Balliol runner alone.
Look, this runner... It is fully operational now, is it? Then I suggest you cooperate. For both our sakes. Finish your tinkering by tomorrow and bring it to the Grand Cathedral as soon as you can.
Eh? What's all this now? You play the proud soldier at me and then pluck it for your own schemes?
'Tis no scheme. I would use it for His Highness's sake.
For His Highness, eh? Hold a tick. Haven't you been looking for him? Wandering across God knows where, last I heard. So if you're back now and now you want a gauntlet runner for His Highness... Is His Highness still alive? That's it! I've got you, haven't I?
'Twas His Highness who gave you refuge while you were only a heretical scholar condemned by the Sanctists. The time has come to repay his mercy.
Understood.
Is that enough? Can this old duck really handle an undercover operation?
I know what you're thinking, but 'tis at least true that he feels an undying debt of gratitude to the royal family.
Pish and tosh, boy. A little faith. Not to brag, but this old duck's craft might be the fastest gauntlet runner in the kingdom. Why, probably the world.
I think. Maybe.
How encouraging.
All I want is to push this runner as far and as fast as she can go. Show her off to the world. And you? Well, I presume you'd rather work together than have to walk, eh?
I don't know about this, but I guess we'll just have to trust him. What do you think?
Well, if we die, we all die together.
Ha! The boy's bold as brass.
'Tis not an invitation, you dolt. Eyes on the road.
Either way, he knows the prince is alive, so we can't just leave him to his own devices. We're all in the same boat. Or runner, I guess.
You lot can handle the fighting, and I'll handle all the driving and greasework. Just make sure you've got a proper plan for all this mess now.
This guy's got no filter. But he has a point. We do need to talk strategy.
So, summing up. Our first trial is to slay a monster. We take its head as proof, then get it to the goal line before the deadline. The bigger the head, the better. Our destination is Port Brialhaven, the capital of the Western Principality of Oceania. It'd be a trek on foot, but this gauntlet runner should make it a snap.
So getting the bounty's head is our next move. And our target is a nefarious criminal who's been kidnapping and selling off children. Right?
A criminal? Did the task not specify a monster's head?
Don't worry, all part of the plan. We don't need to win this thing. We just need to get Luis's attention. Everyone's going to show up with monster heads, and we shake things up with a felon. A knight-turned-kidnapper at that. Shows them we're there for justice.
But to deliberately violate the rules, we risk being disqualified entirely. Then again, 'tis just as likely to win the people's attention and thereby Luis's. I do understand the intent. What do you think of this plan?
I trust all of you completely.
Good enough for me. A captain's got to trust his crew, after all. The bounty's Heismay, an ex-knight. I realize that's a little close to home, Hulkenberg, so if you'd rather hang back...
No. His title is precisely why I cannot let his atrocities stand. And yet, 'tis strange indeed that we are hunting a mere man when the trial demands a monster. Then again, our true aim is beyond the ambitions of any other aspirant. Our fate rests in this plan of yours, Stroll.
Thank you. I'll try to ensure your trust isn't misplaced.
Righto. Then our course is set. Feel free to use anything in the Gauntlet Runner. Even got a bathing room if you could use a wash.
Good to know. We can always look around more thoroughly later.
Yes. You needn't tire yourself out before we arrive.
Well, I'm a tinkerer and not much else. All my fighting happens in the old workshop. But I'll take you wherever you're going for your sake and mine. After all, the wilds out there are no berry picnic. Oh no. It's a den of wild beasts and savage scoundrels. And we'll not get past it without days on the road together. So, if you need anything besides a steady hand on the wheel, give me a hoot. Bound to find me in the cockpit or the engine room.
He's certainly an eccentric, but he doesn't seem like a bad person. We'll get used to him, I suppose.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Good morning.
True.
I knew it!
I say, we could stop for a break.
Coming now into view is the Tree of Prophecy, a resplendent tapestry of color against the backdrop of the bleak desert. One theory is that the tree's roots gorge on the land's magla, and still another is that it gorges on those enraptured by its colorful foliage, as though themselves snared by the bewitching magla surrounding the tree. The Gauntlet Runner comes to a stop at its base.
Wow!
That's...
Certainly.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey there!
Huh?
Huh?
However,
All right.
The Gauntlet Runner arrives in a quiet clearing, concealed by boulders. As darkness reclaims the wilderness for itself, monsters run rampant in the wilds. To sleep here would be perilous, unless from within the safety of a Gauntlet Runner. The party, secure in their Gauntlet Runner, spends the night in peace, hidden from hungry gazes.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Finally! We're out of the desert! Oh wow! I missed all this green!
Ugh. Why is it so bumpy?
That'd be the change in terrain, lad.
See, you got to let the suspensions get used to hard ground instead of soft sand.
Must be nice to fly everywhere.
What the? Did we just crash?
Of course not. That's
A cannonade.
My star is rising!
Ah! Sanctism will reign! Ah!
It's them. Remember, from the opening ceremony. I think one of them is Guido, Forden's confidant, and the other is Luis's man, Gladel.
prominent candidates. Shouldn't the king's magic petrify them for their aggression?
No, see where they're aiming. They're not shooting to kill, just to take out the opposing runner's legs.
Stuck out in the wilds with no working runner? Whether they survive or not, they're dashed well out of the race.
So 'tis a clash to halt each other's advance. Damned fools couldn't resist a show of force.
Look! Over by the legs. That crier is there too.
I see. Acting as witness to the higher candidate's conflict. It seems Gladel cannot match Guido's firepower.
What's our plan? If we just hang back and watch, Godot's gonna win. And Forden gets a leg up on the competition.
Let's give Gladel a hand here.
Good thinking. That way we could win Luis's regards.
Agreed. Let us ride to Gladel's aid.
I say, hold on! You realize you're a no-name candidate, eh? If he wants to shut you out, he'll not have to aim for just our legs.
It's a runner, isn't it? If things get too dicey, we'll just run. Didn't you say we had the fastest craft around?
Fine. Suppose there's no room for caution if we want the world's eyes on us.
Okay then, it's settled. Let's make sure he owes us big.
There should be an external runner boat out there.
We're here to help! Withdraw, Gladel! Who goes there? Why do you stand for Luis's forces? Well, sorry, can't get into it now. That gauntlet runner. You're that commoner candidate who destroyed the Grand Cathedral! Was that not enough? You would profane the sacred a second time!
So be it. In God's name, be thou punished! dare interfere in my fight? Know your place. Is it fame you seek? You thought by confronting me, you might lift your own names. Then you chose the wrong opponent.
I hate to interrupt, Old Egg, but it's a touch more complex than that.
We of the Crown Theocracy's monk army have silenced all who would oppose the eminence of God. Your petty ruses are beneath me. Now you shall know how powerless you truly are.
Remember, the king's magic means we cannot move to strike Godot himself.
Go for his followers first. We'll thin their numbers and turn the tide.
Go, my brethren! Put the fear of God into these impious commoners!
Don't forget about the petrification magic! Looks like we can't brute force through this one.
Warrior!
I'll cut you down!
It's okay. We can do this.
Mate!
Burn!
You disgrace the Sanctist way.
No. Let us fight as one. Knight! Is that all?
I shall seize my chance.
What could you hope to achieve?
Come at me!
He knows we can't attack him. He's toying with us.
I shall vanquish evil. Hack and slash.
Right on target.
Prostrate
Nice
yourself
little
before
stroll.
God.
I won't hold back! Roar!
I stand red. Knight! I see you!
Forgot them right in their
Now,
weak
what's the
spot.
play?
I'll show you the essence of truth. Mate! Lightning!
Let's do this. What could you hope to achieve?
Take this!
Captain, they've got your defenses down.
For all that we strive for! Not now.
Got them right
I
in
shall
their weak
fight
spot.
as the noble I am.
Warrior!
I'll cut you down!
Let's stay calm. Better come forth, royal soul! This'll do.
Is everyone all right? I see you!
This can't be.
Warrior!
To him,
Sanctism
I return.
More resilient than I expected. I would lose nothing by conceding this fight. But the faithful are watching. For the sake of my dear brethren, I must hold nothing back. Now! Feel the righteous truth of Sanctism engraved upon your flesh!
Does this mean he's getting serious?
Rise, my brother!
Get in there!
This is nothing.
Sanctism will reign!
That's all.
Stroll's badly wounded. Can anyone heal him? Stroll can't take any more. Someone heal him.
Here,
My thanks.
Captain,
Observe the
they've got
enemy.
your defenses down.
This should help.
Witness me, brethren! Ah!
What a mess. I call upon royal power within!
Hit their weak point. Keep
Let's
it
go.
up, Stroll.
ice!
Hit their weakness. That's That's your opening, Captain.
Sanctism will reign!
Only a flesh wound.
Sanctism will reign!
Nothing.
Damn it!
Here!
Know your
I shall vanquish evil!
peasants!
Witness
me, brethren!
You hit their weakness!
Is everyone all right?
That's your opening, Captain.
There!
Helpful as ever. I call upon royal power within!
Impossible! Take this! Take this!
Come forth, royal soul!
You hit their weakness!
Let justice
That's your
prevail!
opening, Captain.
Huh, take this! Worthy
Damn
foe
you.
after all.
No holding back!
So, the faithful are broken before you, yet your desperate struggling is for naught. You cannot defy the inevitable. I am immune to all your wicked harms.
Oh, he gets to do whatever he wants, and we can't even get near him!
Bend the knee and yield to the divine truth of sanctism. Now, are you prepared for the end?
I think not, you rotter!
What have you done to my gauntlet runner?
We've nothing to lose. At the very least, I can thrash your old clunker until it's inoperable.
This is a waste of my time. So be it. You'll face your divine punishment soon enough.
Phew. Finally, he took the hint.
Hey! Get down here! What are you playing at? You think I owe you now or something? I would have been fine without your meddling.
Are you hurt?
Of course I'm not hurt! Look, what are you after?
Why, Gladell, surely you can spare some manners for a crew that saved our lives? Honestly, that got a bit ugly for my liking.
Well, well, well. Do my eyes deceive me? Juna the songstress in the flesh. What brings you all the way out here? A little tryst on the road, is it?
Nothing so saucy. I'm afraid this cad's just my chauffeur. Now please, darling, a little privacy, or I'll have to charge for an interview.
Fair enough, miss. Fair enough. Nothing you're not used to. Consider me chastened and shooed. Besides, I might have found another angle here that's just as promising.
You surprised me out there, love. You bested Godot. So you're not just a pretty face. You were more help than my useless driver, at least.
Look here. However talented and famed a songstress she may be, you must remember to contain yourselves.
Songstress? Wait, is she the same Nydia lady who sang at the opening ceremony?
Aye, but that's... Oh, blast it all, I can't take it anymore. I'd know those suspensions anywhere. You had Caden workshop on this, eh? Yes, those are quality parts and no mistake. Luis really shells out for his own.
By the crown, you can't be serious! She is Juno, the kingdom's greatest singer, the dulcet diva! Oh, this is preposterous! Surely I can't be the only one starstruck? Really? No one else wants to shake her hand? Well, then on behalf of this group, I suppose it falls to me.
You're an interesting little ensemble. Wait, is that a fairy? A real living one? Where did you...
Hey, up there!
gauntlet runner! He's actually finished it!
Luis.
My Lord Luis. How kind to provide a personal escort.
So that's it. I thought it was strange that a candidate like Gladel got stuck playing someone's driver.
But she was still the Sanctist's pick for the opening ceremonies? Guess even Forden's camp has to bend to popular opinion.
My humblest apologies, my Lord Luis, for this travesty, especially when you had graced me with the privilege of bearing the lovely Lady Juna.
Glad to see Lady June is safe, at least.
I could have crushed that churchman like a bug, and I would have if these insolent fools hadn't.
I'm sure. Sorry, don't much care.
It would seem you had to clean up my associate's mess. I'd like to express my gratitude, but if I might ask, who are you?
I'm just another candidate.
Indeed. Then we are both striving for the throne. One would think you commoners, but for the Lady Knight at your side. And you have a gauntlet runner. Most curious. What made you decide to enter the competition?
Looks like he's more interested than we anticipated. This might be our chance, so choose your words wisely, okay?
I want to help you, Count Luis.
Oh? You fight in my name, do you?
Really now? So, you thought you'd step in for a little self-promotion?
We want to help anyone in need. That's what we believe in.
Anyone? Most interesting. However, my immediate needs are met in terms of swordhands.
Oh, come now. Don't they have a certain charisma to them? Why? I dare say I saw them use magic without igniters.
Please, I know we can help you. We want nothing more than to see your vision realized, Lord Luis.
You do know what that vision is built on, don't you? If you would claim yourself my ally, then prove your power before all the kingdom's eyes. You can't change the world without power, after all. If you can manage that, I'll consider your proposal.
See you, loves.
Don't think this changes anything. Come on, Hector!
It soars like a damn bird.
Right then, that could have gone worse. We were lucky we managed to connect with Luis this early.
No thanks to that Gladel. Even should we be accepted, he'll be no ally of ours.
Well, at the very least, Luis knows our faces. All we have to do now is avoid screwing it up.
He wants to see our power, does he? Then let's find Heisme, bring him to justice, and show the nation we're a force to be reckoned with.
As the chirping birds return to their nests and the darkness claims its dominion, the gauntlet runner at last arrives at its repose, a place grown thick with trees. Are the sounds from between the trees just the leaves being caressed by the wind? Or are they the whispers of the beguiling beings of the dark? The party never has to find out, for they are safe within the gauntlet runner.
Ah! Oh, damn and blast!
Did you hear that?
It's over. The end of the road. So ends the life of the genius engineer.
Let's say we go check on him. Hey! Nurse, you okay?
Oh, you two. Terribly sorry. It's nothing, really.
Is there something troubling you?
Ah, well, I suppose you could say that. It's just the runner, you see. She's in top shape, but I wanted to make her peerless. An absolute beauty, you know, top of her class. Something that would make even old Luis's runner look like a ballet apple cart. I'd not be floundering so much if I just had a bit of spark.
A spark?
Yes, my girl. A spark of inspiration. A moment of epiphany, like when I saw the lost relic.
Lost relic? Doesn't ring a bell.
Ah, yes, context. They say that long, long ago, there was a civilization so highly advanced it was beyond all modern understanding. Automation ruled the day. People lived surrounded by machinery with no need to work. Legend has it that they lived lives of convenience and comfort, but somehow that civilization just up and disappeared. God only knows what happened to them.
Sounds kind of far-fetched already.
Hear me out, would you? The point is, once in a stretch, you hear about someone unearthing relics from those days of yore. Absolutely inscrutable to the layman, don't you know? But those in the know would recognize such a prize at a single glance.
Who'd you hear this from?
Heard it, lad. I've seen it with my own eyes. You see, there was this old inventor in the neighborhood where I grew up, quite sharp, but a bit balmy. That old fellow only showed me his find once, but even seeing it lit a fire in me, like being struck by lightning. After that, it was like a boiling pot. Ideas rising to the surface. And my tinkering always came out marvelous. Some proper court engineer-worthy genius. Something about it utterly captured my imagination. The lost relic, I mean.
Wow. You could try getting him to show you again.
If only I could. That old fellow went back to his own hometown. That single solitary glimpse of the past was all I had. The old goat. He told me he'd leave me the relic in his will.
Okay, so where's this guy's hometown?
Oh, some tiny hamlet somewhere on the outskirts of Martira. A village by the name of Camiro or some such.
This one's important.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Oh.
Isn't that...
Departing the capital and barreling southward, the party's gauntlet runner at last arrives in the old castle town, Martira, where their client, Barden, awaits. The towering castle's stark walls stare down coldly upon its visitors. The only question now is whether or not this gambit was the right move.
Tis far more desolate a place than I'd heard.
Not many people out. It's like everyone's afraid of something.
Ah, you're here! I've been hoping you'd show up soon.
I know it's been a while, but we pledged to help you. We'll not go back on our word.
Glad to hear it. I'm sure Lady Joanna will also be pleased. Oh, your pardon. Lady Joanna rules this city. She's also a most holy sanctoress of the Sanctus Church. She lives there, in Criganti Castle.
I take it the locals are hoping for His Eminence Forden to win the tournament.
Aye. Naturally. No sane and righteous man would want Luis on the throne. Speaking of, I heard there was a scuffle on the road between two candidates gauntlet runners. The criers say Forden's allies suffered the worst of it.
Ah, well, that's Luis's camp for you. I assume it was them, I mean. Some nasty characters at his heel, eh?
Luis is nothing but a tyrant.
Yes. Such atrocities in his name. Unforgivable.
Captain, are you sure we can trust these strangers? These bounty boarders are always in it just for the money.
Looks like his officer's not on our side just yet.
Dinna be rude, Morris. They've come a long way for our sakes. Now, I'm sure you must be knackered from the journey. Let me show you to an inn. You can try our local speciality, perhaps.
Ah, you've a local delicacy. It would be a welcome treat.
You chaps go on. The old girl needs a bit of maintenance after carrying us so far.
Can't that wait until you've eaten?
Too much at stake, lad. Go on, don't worry, and I'll sort her out. Might well fix the bally waterworks while I'm at it.
Come, everyone. This way.
Is this some kind of smoked dish?
Roasted larvae of the giant sandworm. It's Martira's culinary speciality. Cooked to a delicate finish, just enough to preserve all the natural juices and flavors of the innards.
Oh good. Larval innards.
Tis a unique texture, to be sure, but the taste is divine. Exquisite.
You're completely serious, aren't you?
Something the matter? Do try some of your own before it gets cold.
Looks great.
What is with that smile? Not you two.
You fairly eat with gusto, young man. Passion worthy of a royal candidate. How was it? Sometimes the insides can twitch a bit, but it's harmless, I assure you.
Would that I had time to try more of your dishes, but... to business. Can you fill us in on the details of all these kidnappings?
Aye. Our wee ones have been going missing for at least 6 months. All told, we're looking at 15 children now unaccounted for.
And you think this Heismay is your culprit?
I'm told he's a disgraced knight with nowhere else to turn. We've no proof, but the pieces fit. Seems to me that with nothing else to lose, he's gone rogue.
For a man who claimed a knight's honor to stoop to such horrors. 'Tis unacceptable. We must end this quickly, for our sake and his own.
If I recall the brief, it'll be quite a feat to even get near this Heismay. His hideout was in the midst of the Sandworm's territory, yes?
Aye, well remembered. He certainly isn't going to make this easy for us.
So... is Heismay's hideout way out here? Looks pretty far from Martira. And there's a campground. Let's see here.
There's a runner.
Let's see here. Here's where we are now. All right. Oh.
It's a campground.
Let's see here. Let's see.
Now that you mention it, I have to wonder how he can even survive out there.
We've been chasing any lead we have, but we can't figure it all out. We're in over our heads.
We'll get this job done.
We're awful grateful to have you. And don't worry, we'll pay you what you're due. After all, nobody else in the royal capital would give it a second glance.
We help anyone in need. That's why we've come this far.
Inspiring words, young man. Now, I hope you're not full yet. We've a whole spread of other dishes for you. Now this is the pride of the town. A fine sweetmeat made from the juvenile sandworm's entrails. You'll find this tastes as sweet as any dessert. Together, I'm sure we can find a way to the stronghold without falling prey to those worms. Now, please, dig in.
Tis altogether different from the roast. Why, 'tis succulent as a mellow fruit. Another marvel.
You must have gotten used to eating anything you had to out in the wilds, eh?
I'll schedule a meeting with the Honourable Lady Joanna tomorrow. Please, rest your weary heads for today.
If they aren't here to con a free meal out of us, that is.
Now, let's go.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
It's gorgeous out!
Hold on.
Let's hurry.
Well met.
I've awaited you. Aye, yes. May I present Lady Joanna, Sanctoress and the ruler of this city. These are the ones who have undertaken the request to subjugate Heisme.
I am Joanna, presiding lady of this city. On its behalf, you have my gratitude for traveling all the way from the royal capital.
Lady Joanna refused to use taxes to pay for this, so she sold her own heirlooms and possessions to secure the funds.
It's clear you want only the best for your people, milady. So we'll give you our best in return.
I cannot claim any nobility above yours. Even as other aspirants to the throne quarrel and bicker, you've chosen instead to help the kingdom's people.
Well, we don't deserve that much credit. After all, we're not helping for free.
Even so, please put an end to this tragedy.
We won't let you down.
Thank you. In truth, I thought it foolish to decide a monarch by a simple vote of popularity. But perhaps there is something to it. Here is my offer. If you get rid of the culprit, I will appeal to the people of this town to support you.
'Tis most kind, but can you truly afford that? Surely, as a church sanctoress, His Eminence Forden would expect your support.
Indeed. However, I would rather have a king who truly cares for his subjects.
Yes, Lady Joanna.
Now, I must return to my duties. I shall await our next meeting.
We're counting on you.
'Twas a confident smile indeed, with a great deal of pain behind it.
I know it's but a step in our plan, but truly, I hope we can help these people. She even promised us political support.
She did say it. Oh, I mean, I can't help but wonder if she'll keep her word on that. It's quite a promise to make when she barely knows us.
Did something seem amiss?
Not in particular. Maybe it's just the gloominess of this place getting to me. So what are we gonna do about Heisme? We'll have to go out in Sandworm territory to find him, right?
The mere fact of his kidnappings suggests he's passing unseen by guards and sandworms alike. The question is, how?
Let's ask around the city a bit first. Though I can't say we'll find many willing to talk with the streets this deserted. Maybe we'll have better luck around the taverns and shops.
should go.
Not a scrap. I suppose we knew it wouldn't be that simple.
Tis far too early to give up. I spent over a year asking after the prince with no luck. And still I did not falter.
Yes, and it's very admirable. But I think I'd prefer a change of tack instead.
You there! Might you answer a question?
Terribly sorry, but I can't help you. I'm just here on my leisure. You're better off finding the information you're looking for elsewhere.
Suspicious character, isn't he?
Hey, you lot. You seriously gonna hunt down Heisme?
You're Barden's man.
Yeah, the guy with the attitude.
Not sure I should tell you this, but here I am. There's actually a way to avoid the giant sandworms. You just gotta wait for the sand flash. It's a local event, a kind of storm, and the wind kicks up sand peppered with magic crystals. Not too uncommon a sight round here. Our diviners say we'll have a sand flash in about 5 days. Seems to put most wild beasts to sleep. Might be some magic effect, or might just be waiting out the storm. And that includes the sandworms, eh? They'll nod off, and with proper timing, you'll sneak right past them. Heisme might well be using the same trick himself.
We're much obliged, but if you know all this, why haven't you and the guard gone out?
A guard unit stomping around would wake up the whole den. Didn't much like saying it, but us local lads wouldn't be much use against Heisme anyway. But you think you can handle him? Aye? Wouldn't be here otherwise.
That information is all we needed. Thanks for the help.
Good luck out there. And don't worry, no charge for the advice, eh? Can't have you getting yourself killed now. Cap's reputation's on the line. And, one more thing. You didn't get this info from me. Aye?
Understood. But why? You could have shared this with us at supper yesterday.
What? And got myself volunteered to go out there as your travel guide? No danger of that.
I see.
Anyway, I'm counting on you.
Finally, a solid lead falls into our laps. And we'll not even have to bother with the sandworms. We've apparently got 5 days till the sand flash hits. Let's make sure we can get this done quick. Looks like more than a day's trip on the map.
If it takes us one night to reach the giant sandworms' territory, and we aim to go when the storm has them all asleep, we should leave in 4 days' time.
Let's go inform Nearest.
Righto, straightforward enough. Long as we get in when the worms have all tucked in for a nap, we'll be just dandy. Suppose I'd better crack on with the tune-ups then. Don't want the old girl failing on us when she'll be our only hope of egress, eh? Oh, that? Damned if I know. It was just in the blueprints from the royal family. Works rather like an igniter, but no idea what it does. Just don't go breaking... Oh, easy there. You all right, lad? Thought I saw something glowing. Then you came over all giddy, gave me a start. Still can't believe this thing reacted. Look, we don't want any nasty surprises, so I vote we stay put and rest up for today. Just in case. Don't want you passing out on me, do I? Just consider it a little precaution for the trip.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer. Your journey is going well, it seems. One by one, you take your steps forward on this road. A supernatural awakening, a call to adventure, legs to carry you. All of these are coming together. Accordingly, new powers needed for the journey seem to have awakened.
Are you talking about that thing inside the Gauntlet Runner?
By my eyes report, there is one piece of equipment in the Gauntlet Runner that was created in ancient times. Something no longer crafted in this day and age. A divine relic. It contains ancient magic once thought lost. The power of teleportation.
With proper use, its great power will turn your gauntlet runner swifter than any beast or transport on land. Most interesting. The reasons elude me, but you seem qualified to use this divine relic. I cannot imagine this is mere coincidence. Perhaps you are guided by an unknown hand. Now, try to imagine. Vivid, familiar scenery. Somewhere far from the land where you rest.
What's going on here?
What's with all the yelling? Wait, isn't this...
What? The royal capital? How? We were in Martira just last night.
Eurus? Surely you didn't drive us back here?
Are you mad? Don't you remember how many days the last trip took? You can't dash and roll pop over to the capital in a single night.
What? So this is some magic you saw in a dream?
So this teleportation, it can just whisk us all back to the royal capital in a flash. Even the gauntlet runner came along for the ride.
It certainly did. And there might be a reason for that.
Do you know something?
She was custom-made for the prince. But I wasn't there in the concept phase. When they gave me an odd gadget and said, make it work, I bloody well made it work. You saw it yourself, eh, my lad? That part all bound up in its heart. Last night, we caught it glowing. Then I wake up and find a proper hullabaloo. Damnedest thing. It only started glowing when you got close, eh? Maybe you were a trigger of some kind.
Yeah, maybe I am.
I cannot say I've heard of teleportation, and yet... surely there can be no explanation for this other than magic.
Hold on. If we're back in the capital, that means we've got bigger problems. We're due back in Martira for the bounty. If it takes us days to get back, that's all our planning ruined.
If we magicked ourselves over here, let's bally well see if we can magic ourselves back, eh?
He makes it sound so easy, but what do you think?
'Tis no small feat we ask, I know, but might you at least try?
That's...
Come on!
Oh, dash it.
Where to?
It reacted! The lad really is the key to triggering it!
Whoa! Hey! Are you sure this is safe?
All we can do is trust him.
It's Martira. They really are back.
can't believe it. It feels just like when the king's magic caused that spectacle in the capital.
In my eyes, it's the other way around. It's not powerful by virtue of being connected to the king or to the lad. Maybe it's that all magic is supposed to have potential of this magnitude. You've all got some powers that defy understanding too, eh? Gives one the sense that those sanctists preaching about needing igniters are wrong, or lying outright.
I suppose when you say it like that.
Speaking of sanctism, well, not like this. A tool full of this kind of practical, unorthodox magic is against all their teachings. Why would the royals have had it?
Hold a moment. With this teleportation on our side, can we travel anywhere in the world with only a thought? If that's so, we may not even need a gauntlet runner at all.
What? You mean we could just magic snap ourselves to Brilhaven? Just like that?
Go on, try it out.
No reaction.
So we can't go somewhere we've never been before. Anywhere else you've been? How about Montario?
No. Commoners don't usually visit the 3 great cities.
'Twould seem this power of travel is somewhat conditional. Best that we define its boundaries now.
So, in the end, the only places we can teleport to are the cities we've actually been to.
Well, thank you very much. Ha! Almost had me out of a job there, lad.
Sounds like you've got to envision the destination in great detail for it to work. We'll need more than a glance out a window or a passing familiarity. And you have to focus for it too. Seems to take you a moment, which means it won't save us in a fight.
Not as convenient as it sounds, huh?
How so? Now we can return to the royal capital any time we need to restock. 'Tis useful enough as is, and the more places we travel, the more we can return to.
You're right. And now we can drop by to see Maria whenever we like. Put like that, it really is something impressive.
Even if we've no idea where it comes from, it should certainly prove useful.
Our next foe is a bounty, and we have a lot of preparing to do. We've got 3 days to go, so don't forget.
Oh, that's right.
So,